The Fanatic Five have been selected. We have about 85% of the GM cards done, and the F3L Draft is almost over. All of this and more in 20 seconds. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically broadcast, sponsored by Sport Management Solutions, your one-stop shop for athletic communications. I feel like everything is a little bit delayed tonight. I don't know if it's my computer acting up, if it's the internet because we have a storm out there, or what's going on. But, hey, welcome, everybody. Let's see who we got our first comment already. Damian Gratz saying, let's go. Damian complete with his F3L draft. I think he might have been one of the first guys that completed his drafts, but you know who has not completed his draft yet, and I'm going to bring him in for just a second because I'm sure he needs a little bit of rest. But JB on with us, live and alive from the hospital bed. How you doing, JB?
Doing good.
Surgery was successful?
Surgery was successful so far, so good.
All right, good. And we got you in the hospital for a couple of more days?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to pop you out because I want you to be able to rest up a little bit. Wave at me if you want to come in and say something, though, all right? And I'll bring you back in. All right, brother. See you in a few.
Thanks.
Sean says you're looking good. I'm hoping he means you and not me. Jason said the same thing, says you're looking good as well. Is that a Denver Bronco background? I'm glad you actually caught that, Jason. This was not on purpose tonight for sure. Like, I didn't tell Jason, hey, make sure you ask about this. Like, I've definitely prompted a couple of the people that have come on live with me before to say something. But Misty and I were actually in here planning our next little family vacation in a week or so. And I'm using the TV that's up on the wall as a third monitor. And that is just a background image that was in there. And what's cool is it's reflecting off of that poster that's behind me. So I thought, when I noticed it, I was like, you know what? Let's see if we can just keep that going for the night and see if anybody notices it or not. And you actually did. So I appreciate you bringing it up too. Hey, so we said that we had the Fanatic Five pick. So if you all don't know what that is, that's the clever little name that we're picking for the five regional, so we'll say general managers that are going to be regional managers for the Wizard Redraft League this year. So what we are going to do is we're going to have 60 teams this year in the Wizard Redraft League, and those 60 teams are going to be broken down into 5 regions of 12 teams each. What we're trying to do is get a little bit of assistance with everything this year and do something a little bit different than what we've done before, is not have our regions represented geographically like we normally do. We're going to have these regional managers draft the teams that they want under their umbrella of their region. And I went through an interview process over the last couple of days. We ended up doing 7 interviews for the 5 positions. Everybody interviewed great, made for a really hard decision when I had to narrow it down to the 5. But the 5 that I ended up choosing, we're calling the Fanatic Five for this year. And as we grow in the future, in the next couple of years, using this exact same format, we're going to change the little clever name that we use for this group. So what I wanted to do was introduce the 5 that we ended up selecting. I pulled their general manager cards out to be able to show them in a regional manager position. So let me shrink my face a little bit here because I need to for whatever reason, because these things are an odd size. So first regional manager is going to be Kevin Godwin. We're going to wait for it to pop up because everything's going slow tonight. So congratulations to Kevin on being one of the selections. We got Matt Kroll out of Canada being one of our regional managers for the 2024 season. We got MJ, who is currently living in Georgia but getting ready to move to South Carolina before we actually get the football season started. We got Sean from the Naughty Dogs over in the Atlanta area of Georgia. And then we got Eric Talbot, who was up in New York as our Fanatic Five. So what does this look like now that we've got our Fanatic Five picked out? So here is the calendar for the way forward for the next couple of things. We were originally going to do the regional manager draft selection show, which is going to be the draft order of the regional managers on the 24th, along with the GM draft as well. But talking to the regional managers over the last 24-ish hours or so. It looks like the 31st works out better for everybody, which is in 2 weeks. And that will also give us more time to get the last nine general manager cards that we have to get completed as well. So we're going to move the regional manager draft selection show, which will be the draft order of 1 through 5, and the general manager draft to the 31st of July, which will be in 2 weeks. So what we're going to do instead is on the 24th, we're finally going to do our due diligence and do a show that's probably going to be mostly dedicated to the F3L, and we'll talk about that in just a second. We'll backtrack for just a second and talk about the WRL. Once we get the draft selection show and the general manager drafts completed, then we're going to do our draft selection shows for each one of the regions like we normally do with the dice online and stuff like that. We're going to do that every day of the week from the 5th through the 9th. So that'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I will do one region each one of those days. So I'll let you know which region it's going to be. We'll do the draft selection show. It'll be live at 8:30 probably every one of those nights. It takes us usually, about 45 minutes to do one of those or so. So we'll do those from the 5th of August to the 9th of August. So mark those on your calendar. Mark the 31st on your calendar. Mark August 5th through the 9th on your calendars as well, and we'll get those knocked out. And then the actual drafts themselves will be a little bit later in August. And once the draft selection shows are done, I'll get with your regional managers. They'll get with you as the general managers inside the region, and they'll work out during a range of dates what works out best for you guys. I am okay with drafts being on the same day. What I don't want this year is drafts being at the same day at the same time like we did last year. JB remembers that we did all of them at the same time last year, and what I thought was going to be good because we got them done and over with was a nightmare logistically for me as I was trying to keep up with everybody's along with my draft at the same time. Kevin is in with us saying, hey, y'all. Kevin, are you at home right now? Are you with the girlfriend? Where are you at currently? And congratulations on getting picked up as one of the regional managers. So we mentioned that there are 9 general manager cards to still get completed for this. I'm going to call them out individually right now on the show. So if they're watching this now or later, they know it's them, even though I've reached out to them either by email, a direct message on Discord, or a straight message to their telephone number. Dan Bradley, Mexican Midget. Well, we got to get some information from you to get your GM card done. Ricky Ayers from Carolina Nation. Same for you. Carl Alberico. I think Carl's only missing the photo now. So I don't want to use old photos of anybody. So I'm asking everybody to give me an updated photo, which I should probably take my own advice. If you guys look at my GM card, it doesn't look anything like this right now. So I should probably do the same thing for you all as well. We got Sean Smith, who is one of our new guys. We have to create an entire brand for Sean. So we got to get him a logo, color scheme, team name, and then we can get his card done. Brandon Valinka from Nature Coast Colonials. We got to get his complete. Coach Bill Minot from the Merman. We got to get him done. Mike Lewis from the Louisville Sluggers. I think we're only missing a photo from Mike as well. Mike did send me a photo, but I'm pretty sure it's not appropriate for me to use the photo that he sent. So I'm asking Mike for another photo, please. Tony V, we got to get yours done as well. That is another brand creation. I think Tony was at the MLB All-Star game last night, so we'll give him a little bit of a leeway because he was able to attend that event. I wish I could have been there. That would have been pretty cool. We did end up having a watch party for it, but only Jason and I ended up attending. Jason's calling me scruffy, but this is literally, I think, Jason, at this point, we're going on, I have to look at a calendar. I think this is 4 weeks now with a small trim on my part. So I just don't have the genetics that you have to be able to get that nice beard, or Kevin as well with that nice beard that he has. So those are the 9 that we have to get done. I'll go through them real quick again. Dan Bradley, Ricky Ayers, Carl Alberico, Sean Smith, Matt Berger. I think I skipped over Matt. He has responded. Him and I have been playing email tag back and forth. He's given me a lot of the information. So I think we're literally just missing one piece of the data and then a picture from him. Brandon Valenka, Coach Bill Minot, Mike Lewis, and Tony V. So if you hear your name, you're watching this an hour later, make sure you get back to me so we can get those final 9 done. Yeah, I know. It's about 2 days for you because you grow that nice big beard. I just can't. Genetics is against me. Between the little thing that Dad had in his genetics and having a little bit of Native American in me, I'm going to always look like a homeless guy. That's just the way it's going to be. So we also mentioned that the F3L draft was nearly complete. So as about 6:30 today, which was about 2 hours ago, JB, you can speak about yourself right now. You've got a couple of people still left to draft. I want to say like 5 or 6, I think.
Somewhere in that. Maybe 9. I'm not sure.
And you've had a really good reason to struggle with the draft right now. I mean, surgery and all, whatever. So
I kept getting outbidded.
That too. I will tell you, it was. Let's give a little insight to the people who don't know what F3L is, right? So it's our first attempt of doing a contract in a salary league. And not only on top of that is some of us, the majority of us, are using a brand new website that we've never used before called Reality Sports Online, RSO. So we've had some struggles with it. We've had some struggles learning how we're supposed to be drafting and stuff like that, spending lots of money on players we probably shouldn't have been, leaving us where we're at right now, where we're spending $500,000 at 1-year contracts on whatever's left over. But as of about,
I still get outbidded.
And you're still getting outbidded. I literally thought I was to the point where I was going to get all of the players that were left, and then I even cussed you out on Discord the other day for we're at this point where I've got less than 10 guys left to get, and you're outbidding me all day. So damn you. So I think
Kevin used to take all my players. Time I'd bid, he would always outbid me until I was like, all right, never mind. Him and Cody.
Well, I will tell you, we were down to I could only do the $500,000 thing, right? And you outbid me on one, and Kevin nominated 2 guys that I wanted that were on my list. I literally was down to like the last 17 guys, and I made a list of 17 people that I wanted to go after. That list quickly shrunk down to 4 people because of y'all either outbidding me or nominating them before I could get to them. So it's been a struggle even at the end. And when we say a struggle even at the end, these are 53-man rosters for 16 teams. That's 848 players. So it's a lot of players being taken, and it's IDP for those that are out there watching right now. It's individual defensive players as well. So it's a lot of people that are on your roster. And finally, after, let's say we were going to end the 5th week on Friday, we would start week 6 on Saturday. But because we're down to about 17 players left as of about 2 hours ago, with us reducing the clock down to an hour each, I think we will be able to finish this up on Friday between you and Ted, because you guys are the last 2 that are on the docket to get your teams filled in. So finally, we can move forward to whatever the world looks like after this draft. It's been fun. It's been frustrating. I think I said this last week. It's been fun again and more frustrating, and then maybe even more fun and frustrated again. But it'll be fun to see how the season goes, because it is definitely a learning curve for a lot of us. I think there's about 4 or 5 people that are in the league that have done this before. We've got some new fresh faces in the FSA, which is kind of cool to have these guys come on board with us who have never played with us before. So I appreciate you all. Let's just see if we can get this thing knocked out. Uh-oh. Are we taking the good stuff?
No.
Oh, shoot. We all want you to take the good stuff.
No, it's Tylenol, I think.
That's not anything good. They need to give you the Oxy. That's the good stuff.
I'm not that much pain yet, so I'm not taking that yet.
That's good. That's really good. I'm hoping that the show doesn't get canceled because I just mentioned a drug like Oxy on air. YouTube doesn't come back and to cancel the show or whatever. So with us moving, with all the things that are happening over in the WRL, and us moving the regional manager draft selection show and the general manager draft to the 31st, we will do a show dedicated to the 24th for the F3L. We will definitely be done with the draft by then, because if we're done by Friday, that's actually on the 19th. And the good thing is I think I had said last week on the show we were going to do something on the 24th and not something on the 31st because we were going to be on vacation. Well, We've shifted our vacation a little bit, which has allowed us to open up both those Wednesday dates. So we will be back online on the 24th and the 31st to be able to do these shows that we'll be to do. So F3L 24th, dedicated to the WRL on the 31st. I think on the 24th, what we'll do is we'll finally do the parade of teams for the 16 teams, kind of go back in the old school days when we did the parade of teams for the defunct dynasties, kind of give an explanation of where these teams came from and stuff like that. And then we'll probably talk some of these crazy contracts that we've had happen in this league. And Jason's not wrong. I used to think I had a high pain tolerance, but the more and more I go through these surgeries, between the shoulder surgery and the heart surgery, if you didn't already know, and I hadn't talked about this, when I went through my heart surgery last August, it's been almost a year now. It's literally like 5 weeks shy of a year, so about 47 weeks ago. They put me on ketamine because I was in so much pain. They give that stuff to horses, and that's what they put me on. And I was on that stuff for about 4 hours in conjunction with everything else they were putting me on. I was hallucinating so bad that everything that I was seeing was purple, yellow, white, diamond shaped, and had something to do with the number 4. That was like, I remember that distinctly, but I don't remember a whole lot else other than that. I remember hearing my wife's voice and asking her why she was doing the job of the nurses. And literally she was there helping the nurses out. But what had happened was, and I'm telling too much information right now, what had happened was is they usually don't let the spouses of the family go back and see anybody after they have heart surgery until they move them into recovery, which could be somewhere usually between 4 and 6 hours. Apparently, I was so combative and I was so rude and mean to the staff that they were like, we can't get him. They came out and saw her in the waiting room and said, we can't get him under control. Do you think it's a possibility that you can come in and help us? And they literally brought her back in 30 minutes after I came out of surgery. I said some colorful things to a couple of the nurses that they told me about after the fact. It's kind of funny now that I laugh about it, completely embarrassing at the time. And Misty was able to get me to calm down, but I still couldn't figure out why she was doing the job for everybody else. But now I kind of get it. I'll tell you offline what I told one of the nurses. And the good thing is he was a National Guard or Reserve nurse in the Army as well. And he's like, it's not something I've ever, he says, not something I'm not used to, but I've never heard those words put together in a sentence before. And neither have I ever been called that before. So it was pretty funny. I definitely apologized to the kid whenever I came out of the drugs. All right, one last thing that I want to talk about, not related to the 3 topics at the top of the show, but I got to make sure that we talk about the APFL as well. So the NFL will be doing their roster cuts down to 53 on the 27th of August at 4 p.m. So for those of us that play in the APFL, which you're in as well, we're going to do our cut down the very next day on the 28th at 8 p.m., which just so happens to be on a Wednesday, and it'll give us something really, really good on 28 August to talk about as we cut all of those roster spots in APFL. We expanded those to 24 to make room for the draft, which is 6 more than the 18 that we're supposed to have on our rosters. So there are a lot of teams who still need to make quite a few cuts to get down to the 18. I think I'm at 23 right now, so I know I definitely have to make 5 cuts. I don't know what you're at currently with your team and how many cuts you might need to make.
20-something. I'm not exactly sure. I probably need to make 3 or 4 cuts. Not that many.
So you have to make some cuts. I think my first 3 are real easy. Like I know, hey, I'm going to take these 3 and they're going to be gone. I've just been holding on to them for whatever reason. But the next 2 are going to be very, very difficult. So I'm hoping that there will be some preseason ball that will help me figure out how I'm going to make my last couple of cuts. So, hey, that's it. Quick show. We're under 20 minutes as of right now. JB, I'm glad. Successful surgery. Let us know how you're doing and when you should be leaving the hospital. Appreciate you coming on tonight and saying hey to everybody. I'll let you go. That way you can get some more rest, and I'll finish up the show, and we'll get off here in the next 45 to 60 seconds. All right?
Sounds good. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
Later. All right. So if you weren't on the show last week, we got the website up and running again, iplayfsa.com. Make sure you go out and check it out if you haven't already. As we said, we will be back next week on the 24th, probably really F3L focused, and then we will be back again the following week after that, since we've kind of squished our family vacation in between the 2 dates on the 31st to be able to get the regional manager and the general manager stuff done. We're really deep into the season, preseason stuff now, so we should be back just about every show, especially since we're not going to take the break on the 31st. I want to thank a couple of people. I want to thank Sport Management Solutions, our title sponsor of the year. I want to thank Nature Coast Apparel, our official apparel of FSA, The Recast, the official music of FSA. And then I want to put a special thanks out, since I mentioned the website again, the iPlayFSA.com, to Brandon Gums from Frontier Exchange, who helped me put the website together. I should say put the whole website together to be able to bring it back to life, and the future work that he's going to be doing for us as we bring a new website to life in 2026, as we move forward with the next 32 in 2025 and FSAU in 2026. If you haven't checked out the website yet and you're watching this now or later, go out to iPlayFSA.com and check out all of the new features that are on there. And if you're not following us on all of our social medias while you're at iPlayFSA.com, check out all the social media links across the top of the page. Make sure you go out and follow us on all of those as well. We would really appreciate it. And after you follow, say hi to us as well. We'd love the interaction. JB, I still see you in the background. Heal up, my friend. And we will see you all next week. Hit me up on Discord after the show tonight with any questions you might have. And we will see you next week. F3L, let's get this draft done so we can have a good show for you on Wednesday. Y'all have a great night. 22 minutes. See ya.